Welcome back to another episode of How Good Will They Be? A series where I take a team that's looking very interesting heading into the next NBA season, and I talk about some moves they've made and some just like overall how I think their team is and how I think they're going to be. So in this episode, we have the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Pelicans are in a weird spot. They're a team where they're usually projected to be good, and on paper they're a very good team, but just in game, the chemistry, they just aren't very good, and they've missed the playoffs the last 2 years, even though they had the potential to make it. So let's get right into it. The New Orleans Pelicans selected Trey Murphy with the 17th overall pick in the NBA draft, and they originally had the 10th overall pick, but they traded it to Memphis, and in return, they got Trey Murphy, who was a 17th pick, and they also got Jonas Valanciunas. They also got rid of Steven Adams, but I'm not going over the whole trade. Just the moral of the story is they got Jonas Valanciunas, and I really like that trade personally because compared to Steven Adams, they didn't need Bledsoe, but compared to Steven Adams, Jonas Valanciunas is just a little bit better at everything, and just overall he's younger, and I would have him over Steven Adams for the Pelicans. The New Orleans Pelicans swapped point guards. They had Lonzo Ball, and he went to the Bulls, and Devonte Graham of the Charlotte Hornets is coming to the New Orleans Pelicans. I like the Devonte Graham signing a lot because he is still a great playmaker. He's going to pair well with Zion. He is a bit undersized, but he is a great shooter, and his finishing skills are amazing. The year before, not last year, the year before, he had a breakout year averaging 18, and I'm not sure exactly what he averages here, but he is still a promising young player. Now, I think it would have been more fun with Lonzo Ball, Lonzo and Zion, and they might have even been better with Lonzo, but they could have lost Lonzo, and they could have gotten nobody, but instead they got Devonte Graham, so it's not terrible. And then it's the main piece for the New Orleans Pelicans, Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, two elite young scorers. Zion is more get to the paint, shoot, he's all post. He can dunk on anyone. He's very undersized for a power forward, but he is very athletic. So he is great, averaged 27 points per game. The best year of his career by far in a short 2-year career. And you have Brandon Ingram, who was also amazing last year. The year before, he was an all-star, and I can definitely see him averaging 23 plus. And honestly, if it was last year, I wouldn't have given this guy a mention, but it's this year. The New Orleans Pelicans have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, their young shooting guard that will most likely start next year. Now, usually this doesn't really mean much, but I honestly have joined the Nickeil Alexander-Walker bandwagon. I never really thought of him as much, but he really proved himself last year being a key piece to the New Orleans Pelicans. He's definitely going to start this year, and I'm curious to see how he is going to do. Disclaimer, as I'm editing this video, I realize that the pictures of the guys off the bench are so blurry, so yeah, I apologize. The New Orleans Pelicans also have a good bench too. They got Tomas Satoransky in the Lonzo Ball signing. It was a sign-and trade. They also got Josh Hart, a young small forward, great defender, great rebounder, and they also have Jackson Hayes, a young center that I am very high on. And now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's how I think this team will do. So I want to go over first their strengths and their weaknesses. So there's no script. I'm just going to go off the top of my head. So this team, shooting-wise, is not very good. Devonte Graham is a great shooter. So is Brandon Ingram. Jonas Valanciunas, over the years, it's been getting... percentage-wise, it's been getting better, but he hasn't been taking many shots, and we know Zion isn't much of a shooter. Like I said before, he's more get to the paint. Nickeil Alexander-Walker for a shooting guard is very below average, and the shooting team, this is not a very good shooting team, and when Zion's in the paint, he's going to have a lot of great nights, and it's going to affect them when Zion's in the paint, he's being doubled, and you can't pass it out to someone who's going to shoot the 3-ball. And that kind of sucks. But defense-wise, Jonas Valanciunas, he's like a 2020 guy, great shot blocker. Zion, amazing defender despite being undersized. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker is also a good defender too. Vontae's below average. And Ingram is average, I would say. Playmaking-wise, they're fine. They look good playmaking-wise. And overall, this team... because like I said at the beginning of the video, the Pelicans for the past 2 years have been, or maybe like last year, okay, let's just say last year, they were supposed to make the playoffs last year, maybe even 2 years ago. But they've just disappointed every year. And I don't know if it has something to do with the chemistry, but Lonzo and Zion was a great fit. And now they have Devonte. And this team on paper, I see them as maybe the 9 or 10 seed. I don't know. Because off the top of my head, I'm not going to go and list every single Western Conference team ahead of them. So off the top of my head, they're like a 9-10 seed. But chemistry is going to play a part. I don't really think this team's injury prone. But yeah, chemistry will definitely play a part. So we're going to see how they'll do next year. Okay, so overall, I am going to give the New Orleans Pelicans their floor and ceiling. So I think if this team's healthy, the very worst will be maybe the 10 seed. I can definitely see them having some off games, chemistry being disturbed, because that's been a thing with the Pelicans. And at their very best, I can definitely see them being a top 6 team in the West. But it could even be, like I said, I haven't really looked at, what teams are going to be ahead of them. So it could be 7. I'm going to say 6. And I doubt they'll get out of the first round. I mean, in 2K, they're always so good. But this is real life we're talking about. So that's going to wrap my video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.